Hello everybody. Today I'm starting a new sketchbook. Life has been crazy and hectic and overwhelming and I'm feeling overstimulated, so I thought I would start a new sketchbook today, and I figured I might as well share my process for what I put on the first page of my sketchbook when I'm feeling like I need to start a new one. And I go through these like drinking water. This is the 8.5 by 11 Canson Graduate Multimedia Sketchbook. It has 200 GSM paper, so it can handle some water media. If I'm honest, I throw pretty much every kind of media at this, being a mixed media artist, but it handles water pretty well. So I thought, since it does handle water pretty well, let me rip this off. I figured I would start out today with my Ecoline liquid watercolors. I have the 10 set, which will be linked down below. It's a hardcover. Sorry if you can hear my dog eating in the background. This little first page is not the real first page. This is the first page. So this is what we're going to start on today. Let me move some of those out of the way. And what I like to do when I'm feeling kind of overwhelmed and like I'm not exactly sure what's going on or how I necessarily want my sketchbook to go. I do know that I want a theme for this sketchbook, but I want it to be based on intuition, on my feelings, on having this be a safe place for me to just explore and enjoy what I got going on. So I've got some of my favorite fine liners here. It's the Uni Pin Fine line. Let's see if I can hold that up so you can see it. I have a really rinky-dink setup, guys. It's just my cell phone, and that's all I got. I don't have a cool setup, so hopefully you can see that. But I like the Uni Pin Fine liners, and then I also have the Pentel Pocket Brush Pen. Hopefully there's some ink in it. I need to get some refills. And I've got a palette with all of my 10 watercolor choices in there with just a little bit of water, just so I can mix those up. So I'm going to take the largest size that I've got. It's the 0.7. And what I like to do is, hopefully you can see, set my intention for the sketchbook. And what I will do is just honestly write some keywords. It doesn't have to be the Great American Novel. It can just be some keywords that you remind yourself whenever you get into the sketchbook. So one of the things that I really want to work on is embracing imperfection. Embracing imperfection. Intuition. Movement. I want this to be a sketchbook that's filled with calm ideas. This is a space where I'm going to go for more intuitive work. I do have sketchbooks, multiple sketchbooks that I work in at a time. But for this particular sketchbook, this is one where I want there to be no pressure. That's another keyword I could put in there. No pressure to really create a finished work. This is just a place where I want to come and explore colors, try new materials, try new things, intuitively draw, and just get some of my emotions out. I like journaling in here, so there might be some journaling going on, words and art. And yeah, so I'm going to create that intention. Another thing that I like to do is write some questions. So there are some questions, and I think this is a good practice for when you're starting a sketchbook, especially if you are like me and you like a theme for your sketchbook. Because I am a mixed media artist, I tend to get a little scatterbrained with my art. And while I am trying to embrace imperfection, I also like when things are cohesive. So it's this sort of process of writing out my intention and questions just helps me every time I open the first page to be like, that's what this is for. Because it's, sorry, my dog's drinking water now. It's all too easy for me to start to get like really tight and really worried about what I'm making instead of just enjoying the process of it, which I think is super important. And I think that happens to every artist, where you're like, I just want to explore, but then you end up going out of the way to make things more detailed and feeling bad about your art instead of just enjoying the process of creating. So one of the questions that I want to ask is, what am I trying to say? What am I trying to say with the gestural movements that I'm looking for? What am I trying to say with this no pressure art? Like, what's going on in my mind? How am I feeling? And I know that can sound kind of, woo woo. What do you mean? How are you feeling? I think it's important to take time to just touch base with yourself and be a little bit more mindful with your art and tap back into the reason you like art in the first place. It can be so easy with AI taking over everything. And, you're looking at these curated sketchbooks where everybody's just got these perfect layouts and these perfect spreads, and you can start feeling really down on yourself because you don't have a full sketchbook of those perfect spreads, and so you can start feeling really, really down. So I think having the space in your sketchbook to just say, how am I feeling right now, and to let your art unleash some of that so it can get out of your mind for a second and you don't have to carry that around with you, I think is super important. What's another question? Another question that I want to ask: what do I even like? And you know what? That actually brings me to a good point. If you're watching this, please drop a comment below and let me know, what do you like in your art? Like, I feel so often, and I'm just going to start spreading around some color while we're talking because I think those are some good questions. I'm going to leave some space just in case I have more questions. Got a couple brushes and some water here. And I feel like I want to start out with some blue. Back to my question, what do y'all like to do? I feel like it's so easy to get caught up in what you think you should be doing because other people, let's add some green, other people are like, oh yeah, I'm really into this and I found my art style and this is what I really like doing and blah, 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 blah. And so you can feel this pressure to think that you have to make your art look, oh, I like the way that green is going. You can feel this pressure to feel like, well, my art has to look like this in order to be, considered good art, or my art has to look like that. And it's like, well, do you even like doing that? Is that even something that you enjoy? And I find that sometimes, oh, that's pretty. I find that sometimes I have a hard time tapping into what I actually enjoy doing. I'm just adding some water. I'm just swirling some stuff, seeing what the colors do. But yeah, I have a hard time with that. And I know I'm not the only one. I swear I've heard other people talk about this before. But like, what do y'all like to draw? Like, I know I like really swirly, abstract patterns. I like really bright florals. I like, that's some pink. Let's see what some, ooh, that makes like an even darker purple. What do you do? Ooh, that's pretty. Um, I like abstracts. I like ink and watercolor washes, as you can obviously see. I like really vibrant colors. I like cool tone colors more than I like warm tone colors. Yeah, that's gorgeous. I like the way the colors mix and swirl on the page. I like that looseness. But then I always find that I get torn between like, oh yeah, I can do this loose sort of pattern, but then I'm like, okay, but that's not really art, is it? And that's not really, technically perfect or whatever. But I'm like, well, it's my sketchbook. I paid for it. I can kind of do whatever I want to. And you can do whatever you want in your sketchbook. Let's see. Let's start color mixing. This is like no, this is brown. Why did I do that? You know what? We're going to mix it with some blue to make like a muddy turquoise blue, I guess. There we go. Ooh, that's pretty. Let's see what that does. Oh, yeah, I like that. But like, please comment down below. What do you like to do? What is your art thing? Like, for me, when I draw portraits, I really only like drawing old men. And I know like some people think that's so weird of me to only really like drawing old men. But the thing is, I love the stories that their faces tell. Like, I love wrinkles. I love the bags under the eyes. I love the sagging skin because it tells a story. And I think it's so interesting. And I find that, like, younger faces, not that they don't have stories to tell by any stretch of the imagination. I really like the way that pooled in there. Not that they don't have stories to tell, obviously, because they do. Let me move that up. Hopefully, I've been in frame. But I just find that the angular shapes of a more mature face suits me more than softer rounded shapes of like a woman's face or a young person's face. It doesn't speak to me the way an older man's face does. I don't know. I don't know. Diagnose me with whatever you feel like that might be, because it just makes me comfortable. But what do y'all like? Like, I know some people really enjoy just florals or botanicals, or some people really just enjoy portraits, or like, what do y'all really like doing? And do you feel like you have pressure to conform to something that you don't really like to do just because you think you have to learn it? Because I know I felt that way. I felt that way a lot, actually, so far in my art journey. Ooh, I love the way that yellow looks. Oh my gosh. And I like the way it's pouring in, and I like the way it's mixing with the purple. It might make it a little bit muddy, but that's okay. I don't know what color this is. Oh, this is like a gray. I should know what color it is because it's mine and I bought it, but apparently not. And I'm going to add some of this pink. See if we can get like a deep pinky rose color. Let's put that up here. Oh yeah, that's cute. I like that. I want that to be a little bit darker. Oh, I added black. Let's see what happens. Gorgeous. Oh, see, it kind of picked up some of the paint there when I did that. That's interesting. I'd be interested in seeing some more experimentation on what that does. But yeah, this is kind of like just my calming start to the page. It doesn't really have to be anything. I like to do something that doesn't have any pressure. Figuring out what to do when you're starting a blank page can feel really overwhelming, and I don't think it should. Like, I think that's wrong. Let's see what this color is. It seems like it might be similar to that, but I'm adding some of this blue tone green just to see what happens. It just makes like a darker color. That's cool. I feel like that's going to get muddy, and that's okay. Embracing imperfection. See how quickly you can go from being like, it's fine, don't even worry about it, to being like, uh-oh, that's muddy, that's not going to be okay. It is okay. It's fine. I really am enjoying blues and greens right now just because I feel like they're calming. I'm enjoying the way the paper's starting to buckle a little bit. And as you can see, it's not buckling like a lot. It's actually going pretty nicely. And do I have... I'm going to grab a paper towel really quick. Just to blot up some of the paper and add some texture. This is my Domino's pizza napkin. Very professional. Oh, okay. So that made kind of like a square pattern. I was kind of looking for something a little bit more organic, so I'm going to fold that shape. Fold that there. And just try to find some interesting marks that I like. I think I want to add a bit more yellow. I've been feeling yellow lately, especially this like really bright lemony yellow. It's gorgeous. Just add a couple more pops. And I'm just going intuitively, like what colors are going to make me feel good right now. And I've seen a lot of people, you know, say, well, what's the point of this kind of process? What's the point of this kind of intuitive art? You know, what is intuitive art even? And I'm like, well, it's not even about what it is. It's about what it can do for you, you know? I'm just going to fan this while I talk a little bit because, again, I'm really interested in hearing what other people like. And also, are you seeing anything in this? Because I'm seeing a map of Scandinavia up here. I'm also seeing, tell me if I'm crazy, but can y'all see the horse? I might go over this with an ink wash, but like, tell me y'all see the horse. I'm not crazy right now. I know I see this horse. So I might do some ink over this while this dries. But yeah, tell me what y'all see in this, because I'm seeing Scandinavia somehow. I see Britain. That looks like a shrimp. This is definitely a rooster. Don't gaslight me. You know you see this rooster right now. I definitely see it. But I like these types of pages and these types of spread in a sketchbook, particularly for the first page, because when I look at this, I'm going to remember the feeling. I'm going to remember how much I like these colors blooming. I'm going to remember how much I like this organic lifted shape. I'm going to remember that I made this color and it ended up being a little bit muddy, and I reminded myself to embrace the imperfection of a muddy color. And I'm going to see how all of these are swirling around, and that's going to remind me of that movement of the water moving, that calm, no pressure that I'm looking for the theme for this sketchbook. And as for how I'm feeling actually is overstimulated. I'm new to YouTube, making any videos. I don't even think I have 10 videos yet, so I'm new, so I'm incredibly nervous and overstimulated right now. So I'm using colors and a medium that makes me feel calm and a little bit more loose, because my actual feeling is overwhelmed and nervous. So, you know, if you're a small YouTuber, let me know so that I can follow you and support you, and hopefully you'll follow back and support. Not gonna lie, shameless plug, but I would love to support you, just, you know, and give you shout out to videos and comment on your videos and stuff like that. And if you are a small YouTuber trying to get your start, like drop your page in the comments. Like, promote yourself under this link, you know what I'm saying? Like, under this video. Feel free to promote yourself under any of my videos. Like, make a comment, because I think that we all should be supporting each other. Lord knows, in this day and age with the cost of eggs, I know we all trying to be out here trying to do at least a little something to calm down from the fact that we had to work a 30-hour work week just to get a dang dozen of eggs. But, you know, that's another rant. That's another rant for another day, okay? We can talk about that later. How am I feeling? Pissed off at inflation. What am I trying to say? Lower the egg prices. What do I even like? Cheap eggs. Sorry. Sorry. Anyway, but yeah, so let me know in the comments if you're a small YouTuber. Drop your page. Also, let me know, what do you like to make in your art, and what kind of questions, like, let me know if you've finished a sketchbook, or if you haven't and you want to get started. What kind of intention do you think you want to put in your sketchbook? What do you think your intention words would be? What kind of questions do you think? And I will drop a comment, the first comment, and I'll pin it just to remind you of the questions in case you aren't sure. But by all means, even if you don't want to answer the questions about your own work, or you don't have a work yet that you're not sure, please feel free to drop your page so that I can support you, and that we can all get some support for each other in the comments by following each other and liking each other's stuff. And yeah, so this is what I'm going to do for the first page of my sketchbook, my calm, embracing imperfection, intuitive sketchbook. Just colors. The theme of this page is just colors and calm and calming down from overstimulation. Okay, so thank you. I'm going to keep going with some of these pages. I'll be back to show you some more intuitive play that I do with a bunch of different supplies, just in case, you know, you don't have to have these Ecoline. Can you see that? If you can't see it, I'll have it linked below. Don't worry. But you don't have to have the same Ecoline paints that I have. You can use whatever watercolors you've got. Honestly, one of my favorite things is to use Crayola markers and then use water, because that's like really cheap and you get a whole bunch of markers, and honestly, they blend out really well. I can even do an intuitive work with that, actually. That would be cool for the next page. So sometimes I just like doing these. I might come back over with some ink once it's dry, just to, you know, outline some shapes and do some neurographic art just to continue calming down. But yeah, thank you for starting my sketchbook with me. Thank you for, if you stayed till the end, you're a real one. I appreciate you so much. I hope that you're having a wonderful day, and thanks again.